Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, Keir Starmer is a very little man, and I mean this metaphorically. Um, there's nothing of him. He's a wastrel. There's no character, there's no charm, there's no personality. Everything about him is off. It's like Uncanny Valley. He's like a mechanically created robot with a skin of human flesh. He can't interact with people. He doesn't understand how real humans work or communicate. We saw that, of course, in Southport. But he's smaller than that. I mean, I don't know how he's managed to have kids. He must have a tiny shriveled cock and two tiny shriveled testicles dangling off a rather portly frame. He probably bores his wife into submission, and while she's laying there in comatose from his discussions, he manages to wiggle something into her, and manage to give us a couple of kids. It's the only way, I think, because she certainly hasn't fallen for his wit and charm, has she? But he's small in other ways. And one of the ways he's very small is the fact that he removed from the walls of number 10 the portrait of Margaret Thatcher. He can't stand Margaret, can he? His words are that she made him feel uncomfortable. Well, I'm not surprised. She stands for the complete opposite of everything he stands for. She wanted people to work and be rewarded for that work. She wanted Britain to be a success, to rise up, to be renewed, to lead the world. Whereas he's just too busy destroying everything. He's destroying the oil fields. He's destroying the construction industry. He'll be on to the other sectors soon enough. It's all dying. It's all going. And that upsets him when he sees Margaret glaring at him from the wall. So he's got rid of the picture. One of the most Googled phrases at the moment, it's one of those trending phrases, is emigration from UK. Because millionaires are getting out. Everybody's getting out. Anyone who can get out is getting out. 9,000 millionaires this week alone have left Britain. And who can blame them? Who can blame them? He is after them. He wants every single penny they got. And when they've gone, he can't get their money, but he still wants all that money. So he's going to have to come after those who aren't quite millionaires. Then he'll come to those who are average paid. Then he'll come after the rest of them. He'll have everything. Now, why does he want everything? Yeah, it's power, isn't it? It's power. He's playing that game. If he can destroy everything, then everyone is the same. We're all the same level. Not him, of course, but we're all the same level. We're all nothing. Now, there is talk of, how can we put this, a housing audit. And they want to do a housing audit in Britain. Why? Now, this is only speculation on my part, of course, but I would suggest that it's got a good, strong chance of being real. That one of the reasons they want a housing audit is so they know how many spare rooms there are in Britain. Because we know from what I just said about the building sector being destroyed now, and only a third of houses being started this quarter than the previous year, how they're not going to meet their target, and yet the boats keep coming. These people have got to be put somewhere. And I think they want to do this housing audit so they can work out how many spare rooms there are in Britain. And then, say, well, you've got 2 spare rooms. We'll assign you 2 immigrants. Go and pick a couple of immigrants. You're going to have to look after them, feed them, clean up after them, and provide them with prayer space. Don't think it wouldn't happen. And of course, if you refuse to do so, you'll be branded a criminal. You'll be up in court, put in prison. They'll take your house from you. That'll be filled with the newcomers. You'll be homeless. That's the plan. May not be the plan, but it certainly speculatively could be. You wouldn't put it past him the way he's going. And no one in the Labour Party is standing up and saying this is wrong. Nobody's saying, can we stop this? Nobody's stopping it. Why? Why? Why is this charmless oik doing this? There may well be a point in this country where there's a tipping point, an inflection, and where people are so mad, so riled, so put down that they will have no option but to stand up. And if 60 odd million people did stand up. It isn't going to be pretty. And the police will have a tough choice because we are many and they are few. They'd have to pick a side. And if they pick the wrong side, they're going to be in a very bad place, aren't they? I can foresee it. I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying it should happen. I'm saying I can foresee that it might. No dictatorship lasts forever. He's 54, 55 days in, and already there are murmurings because it's so bad. And in his own words, it's going to get a lot worse. And this is why so many people are, if they're able, looking to get out. My wife was very much against getting out. But every day, and every headline, and every new revelation, she's being slowly minded. She can see it. She's not a stupid woman. Far from it. Very intelligent woman. But I think scared about the big change of going abroad, perhaps. But even she can see it now. She can see that there's no end to what's happening. He's got no end. Banning smoking. Banning beer next. Because the newcomers don't like beer, do they? He'll be banning the car. Because that's all this electric car thing is. It's got nothing to do with saving the environment. It's got everything to do with stopping people travel. If you can stop people from travelling, you can herd them, put them in their ghettos. We all know how the ghettos worked in Poland in the 1930s and 40s, don't we? That was a great move. But that's what they want. They want these 15-minute ghettos. Everyone stays in their assigned places. You're herded like animals. This is the plan. And that's why they want to take money off us. They want to take homes off us. They want to take cars off us. You know that they're closing down landlines for telephones and everything's going digital. That's because to close down a landline, you'd have to send people to an actual exchange to close them down. That takes time. When it's digital, flick of a switch, they can close down all forms of communications. If you cannot communicate, you cannot find out what's going across in Area 3 as you're sitting there eating your bug burger. This is the future. And you're walking into it because nobody's saying no. Perhaps we should start saying no. Perhaps we should start saying enough's enough. I don't know. Perhaps we should. Maybe we should. Will we? I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to the people of Britain whether they feel that saying no is worth it. There's no more prison spaces. How many more murderers are going to release to put in people who say bad words against the government? It's a frightening place. This is why I'm desperate now, I think, to get out. I feel sorry for those who just won't be able to. Because once all those who can get out, what's left? Bug burgers, ghettos, poverty, misery, compliance. Welcome to 1984. Keir Starmer is watching you.